shit out.
And I know that because I love my life, and I love my kids, and I love my wife, and I love my job, and I love my fucking crew, and we just fucking kill it. And if you don't feel that way, you should definitely find yourself in a different position maybe in the next couple of months, because life is too fucking short.
It is, dude. It's just too short, and you just have all the possibilities. You really do.
What is going on, everybody? You are listening to the Built for War podcast. I am your host, Austin Trotter, accompanied by this co-host, Mr. Michael Lee Musick.
What's that string fix?
If you guys haven't already, please do us a favor, hit the like, subscribe, and leave us a little happy note.
Yeah.
Hit that comment. It does raise everything. We appreciate it. We're at 109 subscribers now. We're climbing the ranks. We're doing a little bit better every time. So we really appreciate everything that you guys have been doing for us.
Yes.
We just got finished up. Literally, we just came from a venue to here. So we're going to say it mid-July. Expect a strongman competition sanctioned by USS.
Yep.
More details are here to come.
Yep.
But the venue's fucking sick. It is the best venue that I have ever been to in the state of Colorado.
Ever. Even since last year. Because I know we talked about this shit last year. Like, we talked about this and the life got in the way and all that stuff. Good things. But good things come to those who wait. Because we fucking nailed. Like, dude, this place, bruh. And for the money, bruh. Like, so good. Like, so we're so excited.
So we're going to have them sign a non-complete clause so that way none of you other promoters can have this space, because I cannot believe when they said the price and when they said this is the space, I was like, there's no fucking way that it's this cheap.
I agree. I 100% agree. I was like, what the fuck?
Like,
no way.
Yeah.
Like, you're serious, all this. Like, you sure? Like, this line to this line? This is us.
I'm for it, man.
Dude, it really was
huge.
It was so good.
It's huge. So there's going to be, this is going to be the first year to where we're going to kind of start back up and get back into it.
Yeah.
And then I don't see why here in the next 3 to 5 years we don't turn this into a fucking expo.
Yeah, I mean,
so
you guys,
that's kind of pushing the line, but that's what we do.
That's what we do. I mean, it's very similar to like podcasts. You guys got to think, like, it's a lot. Anybody that knows about putting on shows that's watching this, you understand you don't make money, but it's like, it's a dream, it's a passion project, but it could be something. And right now we have a very good open spot to really put on some shows, and like some pro-ams. There's an open money market for it right now. And I know, like, just like we do with this podcast, if we keep putting our, like, and unfortunately it's just like that, we have to put the money out of our pockets to do these things, and one day it'll inspire to be something big. And we've dabbled in it before back in 2020, and our one show was fucking huge. It was awesome.
It was a great turnout.
It was so huge. It was great.
We had a bunch of people that were super excited.
Yeah.
A lot of people got paid.
Yeah.
It was a really good show from the start to the end. And I remember we walked out of the gym when we put it on, and we immediately that night got a text from the owner of the gym, and he was like,
dude,
we want to have you back. We're ready for the next year. Let's keep this going.
Happy.
So we're set to do it again this year because we're finding a need in the market in Colorado for strong, lovely, fantastic, straightforward competitions.
Yes.
This year there hasn't been that many that have been put on Iron Podium. I think the regular contest holders have put their stuff kind of out there.
Yep.
But there's nothing really set in books.
No, like every year, if you guys follow our department, like we always have the normals, right? Iron Titans always pushing their Shamrock Titans. And then they do, and this year they're not doing nationals. You got ATR, which is Wyoming, which they're basically family to us.
Yeah.
At ATR. And then, they do the Colt Breakers and then the other one. And then
they did Static Monsters last year.
Yeah, so that's the other one. Thank you. Static Monsters, Colt Breakers. So that's 4 shows in a year. Like, we're talking a year, 12 months. And then we have up in Colorado Springs, Brandon Barrett, their strength, Barrett Strength, to do Colorado Strongest, and then they do
Olympic City Pro-Am.
So, I mean, really, technically, in Colorado, it's only 6 shows. Like, they're good, like, amazing shows.
Yeah.
We've all competed. Like, they're
no
amazing shows.
flack to them.
No, but
they're fantastic
that's a big
promoters.
market open for pro amps. Like there's a big market.
It's also a long distance,
and
right?
You've
got from Cheyenne to Denver, all the way to Colorado Springs.
I mean,
so there's a market that's within Wyoming to Denver, which is basically right in the middle for sanctioned shows, because Fit Gym puts on their strongman-esque,
but it's not sanctioned shows,
which is what we did. If you guys haven't seen it, you guys can go check out. What is that? Episode 81, the Rocky Mountain Strength Games. It was a great show. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to kind of get people in here to get them into another competition to be able to get qualified for 2026. It'll be 2026 USS Nationals. There's a lot of competitions, and we're going to kind of make this one a beginner to intermediate competition. So if you guys haven't, by the time this podcast drops on the Monday, it should be out, or it should be close. So make sure that you guys go check out Iron Podium. If it's up, we'll have the link in the bio. But we want to put on another one, and the venue that we just checked out is freaking bad to the bone. Like, this is going to be something that if we find out that the AV package, the audio video package, is what we want, we'll be able to have, this is all hearsay, but we should be able to fucking put a TV up with live scores, just like OSG, and be able to put all of that on everything, as well as have inside speakers to where we're going to be able to MC. He's going to be able to MC everything. You guys are going to be able to hear him completely. We're going to be able to have competition, sponsorship, booth area, the athlete warm-up area. Like, everything is going to have its own way. Everybody gets chairs, so you don't have to bring your own fucking
comfy chairs. Not camping chairs, comfy venue chairs.
And tables. They're included.
Like comfy, like padded chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like nice shit.
Yeah. So you guys are going to be able to set up with your little click and fucking put everything together. So
I was actually, we'll get into it like when we start doing this, but like I was thinking because of that venue and like he was saying with the audio, and like we'll have an actual tech guy with us, because we're just gonna head and use their audio.
Real quick, one for the boys.
Do it for all you boys and girls getting off work. Throwback. For all my OG listeners.
Love doing the little throwbacks every
Dude, I love the throwbacks.
It's Friday night.
It's Friday night, bro.
We're getting crunk.
Yeah, and now I don't even have to be in a rush, so I was all trying to hurry because Carly was going to come down, and now she just texted me. She's like, babe, actually, I'm kind of tired. I'm just going to hang out at home. I'll see you tomorrow. I was like,
do you want me to go grab the pen?
Might as well now. This venue, like, there's just a lot of possibilities. And in Colorado right now, like we were talking about, there's so many great, like, that's why I love Colorado so much. It's a huge, strong aspect, like part of string sports. Like, we have a lot of guys here, and we put on a lot of big shows here. But I feel like there's an open market for opening some pro-ams. And here at the Built for War channel, just like we do, like I said, this is going to be coming out of our pockets, a passion project, but I really believe in, if everything we make from the shows just goes right back in, like we do with all this, like the podcast, all the guys you guys do, from the merch to everything, just gets put back in the account, and we're just re-rolling it and re-rolling it and re-rolling it, trying to make the business bigger. And I really believe that if we start doing this, that here in a couple of years, like, it could be really be big something. And and my honest like opinion and dream of it would be like, I love, and I never got to actually shake his fucking hand. I was pissed. I wanted to do it when I was leaving, when I was at World's Strongest Man 2023. OSG, the owners of that, or the owners of
Lynn?
No, so Lynn is actually just the thank you, is actually just the like
promoter.
Yes, thank you, the head promoter.
Okay.
No, the owners, like the ones that back everything, all those implements, everything, all come from Darren Sadler and fucking and Colin Bryce that own Giants Live.
Yeah, so because I've been in. I'm actually not going to say anything at all. I'm not going to say anything, but the one thing I will leave you with is that I have been in contact with Lynn about a certain organization for 2026.
Oh, you did? Okay. Lynn's the guy that like does everything. I'm not like, he's our state guy, right? But I don't know 100%.
Yeah.
But from what I understand and what I've seen with my eyes, like, those cars that they lifted at OSG,
Those were the same ones
the
that.
same ones they used at Giants Live.
Yeah.
The stones that they used, if I would have made it that far, they used those at Giants Live. Like,
Yeah.
and Darren Sadler was the head dude. Colin Bryce was there in the fucking thing. And it says Giants Live on their shirts. Like, so they're the backers, and they do such a huge. One day I would love to like take a boys trip. We're going to the UK. We're gonna fucking party up with some UKians. And we're gonna go to the
for sure going
the
to
Giants
happen.
Live show.
Yes.
Right? We're gonna just make a weekend out of it. We're
Yeah.
gonna fucking party in the UK, get down with some Brits. Then we're gonna go to a show. Then we're gonna party with some Brits, and then we're gonna fly home.
That is for sure going to happen.
Yeah.
It's not only going to be a party there, though, because next after that, we're traveling to Ireland. We're going to go do the Ireland and Scotland Stones.
We're doing the Scotland and Iceland. We're doing the whole trip.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're going to go do
We're
that
doing
whole
all
thing. We're
that.
going to take fucking
Dude.
a week and a half off.
Yep.
That's coming up probably.
Yeah.
I think 2027
I was
is
gonna
going to
say,
be.
yeah, like I think that 20, like, because we've been working on it last year, and we got Chris Probes, if you guys know the channel, we had on. He's getting ready to leave. He's already booked all of his things. He leaves in April to go to Scotland, to Iceland, and go do the Manhood
Go
Stones.
do all of the stones.
All of them. And so then we get to learn from him, like personal experience. But yeah, our goal is to do a built forward trip like 2026, 2027. And yeah, it'd be like a 2-week trip. If you're out there, fucking just do it while you're out there,
Yeah.
dude. Like fucking do it. And
Yeah, if you're already skipping the pond, as they say.
exactly. And you're that fucking far out, like just stay that fucking far out.
Stay that far out. Spend the time. Spend the
Yeah.
extra money instead of having to do two
Dude,
separate
fuck
trips.
that. That's such a shit trip. Like no
What?
thanks.
What were we talking?
Oh, but anyway, so the whole spiel of that is that out there in the UK, they have one of the biggest things, and it's coming into the States with OSG. And I was talking to him about while you were gone was like, we have such good promoters here in Colorado. And Colorado is such a big, like, a strength community area. Now we have the Shaw Classic here. So, but at the end of the day, for amateur strongman, pro-ams and stuff like that, there's a huge open market for it. And that's what we're trying to dive into. And just like this podcast, it's going to be a slow and steady thing. But I truly believe if me and Austin really put our like time into it, just like we do this podcast, and get the following, keep it going, I really believe in the next 3 to 5 years. Like I personally, I have my strongman journey that I want to do, the shit I want to complete, and everything else. But at the end of the day, the man I love, I want to like I said, I was saying before, it's Sissoko. Sissoko back. Sissoko back. I didn't want to interrupt him because he was eating. That was the only time I had gotten the chance. Sure, I'm competing, but when I'm competing, I'm in my own zone. I saw Colin, I saw Darren, I saw those, and like you're just competing. And but we were at dinner somewhere right after the show, and it was the next day or the next morning. Oh, the third day. I don't remember. Did you guys hang? No, you left the third day.
Yeah, we left.
Yeah.
We left the third day because we headed back.
You
to
went
Maryland.
back to Maryland. So yeah, me and Carly went to the venue. We
Yep.
watched the third day, and then me and McGee and his girl and all of us, we all went out and got something to eat, and yeah, we were just watching the shows and getting food and shit. And we were getting food, and there was a table right behind us. And I heard like a bunch of voices and stuff, and sure shit, it was Darren and all of them and everything. I went to the bathroom, and I was coming back, and like, ooh, I wanted to just like beeline it just to shake his hand, like, because like I would love, like, if that was my, like, his, if you guys don't know who Darren Sadler is, he's a fucking little pocket rocket back in the fucking day, like, he made it to World's Strongest Man. He's a small guy, and he made it there. Smallest dude, like, ever. And he got hurt, but anyway, he started putting on shows, and I just had respect for it because back in those days, like, some of those venues were so small,
Yeah.
and then they are what they are today. It's like, if that was my life, like, I'm making mad money just fucking hosting massive shows,
Yeah.
and just emceeing shows, and just like, oh,
Well, and that's
bro,
that's where I think you and I have kind of taken a step in of here in this last year, because the last 2 years was hard with us having the two kids.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
We put a lot into the shows when we put them
Yeah,
on.
when we
Like
do.
we put everything into it. I remember, I'll never forget this for you OG listeners that have heard this a million times. Like I remember driving to our first show, like
Oh, yeah, you're exactly.
profusely sweating. Like I needed a
remember.
fucking Xanax
I
because I
remember.
was losing my fucking mind, like tearing up. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, all these people depend on me. Like, it's literally life and death at this point, even though it wasn't. Like, everybody at the show that showed up were just like, I just want to compete. I just want to have fun.
Yep.
And it was such like we rolled with the punches. We had some fuck ups and we moved forward. But at the same time, I was like, how fucking cool would it be
This is your job.
Down the line to be able to host 4 or 5 shows a year at a world stage level with my best friend.
Dude.
To just host the absolute fucking genetic freak beasts.
Dude.
This podcast is sponsored by Premier TRT and Med Spa. Make sure you guys go over to www.premiertrt.com to get all of your testosterone, hormone, and peptide needs.
Absolutely. And just overall general health. I mean, you guys want to be checked out by the best in the business and people that actually care about you and your well-being and your overall health, whether it's strides and strength, admirations, or just a healthy living style. You guys cannot beat Premier TRT and Med Spa. Great family-owned style business, and you're just one of the family. And as always, get yourself checked.
Either that or go check them out at 12774 Colorado Boulevard, Suite 141 in Thornton, Colorado. Yeah. Go over there and tell Melanie we said that we sent you, you know. Tell them that Built for War sent us.
That's right. You were hanging out with us last night, chilling, and you needed to come get checked. So, bam, there you are.
Yeah. For a low price, they'll check you out. They'll get you what you need and get you out the door so you can be back to living a healthy, lovely lifestyle like everybody else.
That's the American dream.
That's the American dream.
It really is. But no, for real, guys, always we say keep an eye on your health, and there's nobody better.
Yeah.
Premier. And, family, and just, man, you just become one of the family, okay?
You're part of the familia now.
For real. You're under my protection, okay?
Well, thank you for sponsoring us, Premier TRT, and thank you to you.
Always.
We'll see you guys. This podcast is sponsored by Cerberus Strength USA. Make sure that you guys go to cerberus-strength.us for all of your Cerberus needs.
Yeah, absolutely. They're the absolute best. They're coming up in the game. They're owning the game. Cerberus Strength is the best quality product you can possibly wear.
I mean, I tell you what, whenever I think of strongman or powerlifting nowadays, I think of Cerberus.
Dude, I think about Cerberus every day.
I mean, because I wear Cerberus every day.
It looks super sick.
It does. Make sure that if you guys want any of the gear, the equipment, accessories, apparels, they're even coming out with supplements now.
Absolutely.
Make sure that you guys go check out Cerberus Strength.
For real. They're literally one of the best in the business. Probably the best in the business. They're sponsoring everybody from strongman athletes to all the strength sport athletes out there, taking over the game. And you just know you're in safe and good hands when you rock Cerberus Strength.
And make sure that you use our code B4WAR at checkout to save you 10% at checkout.
Absolutely. And their packages always arrive, no problems, shipping, everything. So B4WAR, get you 10% off.
And thank you to Cerberus for sponsoring this podcast.
Absolutely. We love you.
We love you. Like, I know for a fact I will never walk the world's strongest man stage or the strongest man on earth stage. Like,
opens, but one of
no.
Yeah,
like
opens, yeah.
But the guys that get all the fame and all of that. Like, I'll never be at a Mitchell Hooper level
you will never
Bobby
have
Thompson
you will never be literally faced against Mitchell Hooper.
Yeah.
Like actually one-on-one.
And I'm okay with that.
Absolutely.
I think there is more credit due to the people in the weight classes than what the open get.
I agree.
Now, at the same time, I think obviously a lot of people say it, you know, there's no weight classes in the jungle, which I completely understand.
I agree.
At the same time, like, when you've got a 90 kilo athlete that is repping out fucking 800 kilo or 800 pound deadlift for reps.
Yeah.
Bro.
I'm sorry, but like, guess what? The jungle is getting like pretty thin, motherfucker. Like,
yeah, dude.
What they're making us do,
and also when these little motherfuckers like Mike and I can just come up and fucking smoke you, and then do almost your same weight. Like,
that's what I mean.
It's you guys gotta. It's kind of like you guys gotta step up, but at the same time, you guys are breaking like fucking crazy barriers, and so are we. Like, the barrier for the 90s and the 105s. And even the 80s is just consistently rising.
Always. Every year.
To a point where the fucking opens are in trouble.
That's what I mean. Even Carly brought that up the other day, actually. After World's Strongest Man, I was in the airport, and we were on our last changeover, and I was sitting there having a sandwich with legendary Ode Haugen. And we were sitting there, and we were talking, and he goes, we were talking to him, and he goes, where are you competing in? And I was like, 90s and stuff like that. And he even said to himself, a man that competed in the World's Strongest Man. Been in the the World's Strongest Man. He hosts them. He fucking does everything for decades since it's been around. And he even said, he was like, it's absolutely absurd, like the weights that they're having those 90s. Like, that's very impressive. He's like, that's very impressive. And that's when he invited me to his show. And he goes,
oh, in LA.
In LA.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I appreciate that, And then like we looked at it, of course. Skip back like fucking probably like the 50s in the podcast, somewhere around OSG-ish. You'll know what conversation we're talking about. But anyway, it is. It's just getting so big. And the thing of the end of it is like, I respect absolutely. There's no weights in the jungle, and World's Strongest Man is the biggest. And like, sure, open World's Strongest Man, fucking Rogue Invitational, and like, yes, would it be dope? But yeah, the realism of actually making it to that because they are rising just as we are is probably not possible, because at the end of the day, I'm sorry, I was not born 6'4" and just out of shape at 250, 260. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm not genetically built that big.
And it's like, I'm to the point where I could be the next Alexei Novikov.
Yeah.
But I have to cut everything out of my personal life.
You have no life other than strength.
I'm genuinely not, I'm not going to be happy with that. Like, it would genuinely, if we didn't have the kids and I didn't have a wife and I was alone with my apartment and that's all I did forever, like, that would be my thing. I would find my own love in that, but I am so much a family man, and I like this is what I love.
Absolutely.
Like, I love talking shit on a fucking microphone. I love picking up both of my boys and caring for them fucking 70 hours a week. Like, it's genuinely, and like hanging out with my friends and doing all of this shit and finding love in.
Keep going.
I mean, you can put a little in one for me too. But like, I find a lot more love and happiness in all of that than it is to dedicate my absolute life for a sport. It all changed for me when I had a kid, I think, because I did, like, from when I started this journey, I was like, I'm going to walk the World's Strongest Man stage.
Go back to the original podcast.
Go back to the original, like, first
original
10.
podcast. Yeah, the first ones.
Now, that still has not changed. I still want to walk the World's Strongest Man stage, but I want it to be in a weight class.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, you're exactly right. Like, Salute?
Salute.
Hold on, I'm going to double speak this.
Boy, is that not bad?
I even told my brother about this shit. He got me onto the tequila shit. I told him, I was like, dude, and that's the second time, just as good as the first time. Holy fuck. Anyway, and that's the thing is, like, when you get older, like, you'll find that, like, yeah, it's great to achieve trophies and everything else, but are you going to really block out your life? Because at the end of the day, sure, you win that World's Strongest Man, but like, you have nobody to share it with. You have nothing.
Well, and
to,
like those people that do have the World's Strongest Man titles and all of that, and they've got families, like Brian Shaw. Like, obviously he did it while he had kids.
Yeah, he did it.
Stoltman,
Absolutely.
same thing.
Mitt Hooper.
Well, Hooper had a kid right
Stoltman
after.
After Stoltman didn't. Yeah, Tom. He doesn't have a kid.
But either way, like, those are genetically built people for that, right?
It's yes.
And I'm not saying that hard work cannot get you there. But what I am going to say is that the hard work is going to have to outmaster the genetics, and it's going to have to overtake everything else in your life. You are going to have to dedicate absolutely fucking every little piece of your lifehood to exactly, like, I'll tell you what, anybody in my situation right now is a 105, 6'1", 240. I just weighed in 237 today.
Good.
But anybody at my lifestyle will not make the World's Strongest Man.
No.
Period. There's no fucking way unless you are on all of the gear.
Yeah. Or you have completely you'd have to eliminate one factor, right? Like, you are strongman.
Mm-hmm.
That means Austin Trotter is not business owner. You're not dad. You're not, you're not dad. You are strongman, athlete.
I've told my
Trotter.
wife, and it's funny that I kind of put this into my own perspective, because everybody that is a business owner or an entrepreneur understands how it goes. You have a work life and a home life, right?
Yep.
You've trying to make that fucking 50-50.
Yep.
Entrepreneurship definitely takes over because if you want to be anything more than what a fucking 9-to-5 is as a business owner, you have to literally take some of that home life away. Like my wife and I had the conversation.
Yeah, you do.
But then I'm adding in this third factor, which is starting to become a triangle, right? I've got my home life, I've got my work life, and I've got my strongman life.
Yeah.
Like I am trying to be world's strongest 105.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. I know that's going to happen one day. It's just going to take some time because this last, like, dude, on this last prep, I've been fucking on.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you have gotten a lot of progress in just this last training block.
Bro, last night was fucking nuts. Like, for me to be able just to throw around 255 if it's a fucking paperweight.
That's huge.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
I'm fucking sitting good. So 300's in the door, 320's fucking on the doormat. Like now I'm starting to get into a higher weight class while staying at the same weight.
Exactly.
But now it's like, okay, how is this fucking triangle going to shift a little bit? Because entrepreneurship takes over everything because it feeds my family. Exactly. But it also feeds my fucking strongman addiction. Exactly. But I have to find time to be able to for my strongman addiction. Exactly. And I also have to be absolutely the best father that I can possibly be because my children's life fucking depends on it.
Exactly.
So that's what I mean by, like, if you want to be my weight, my height, and everything like that and be world's strongest man, there's no fucking way, period.
Yeah.
I genuinely think that it is impossible to be a father, an entrepreneur, and world's strongest man at my build or at your build, period.
I mean, it is very, I agree. Like, that's like a 90, good, hard 98%, like 95%, only just because the optimist in me, and I love to see cool shit. So
I also love to see cool shit.
Like, so I'm gonna just leave the door open for like 2-3%.
But I also,
I
also want to close the door so that way when you make it, you shout us out and be like, "These motherfuckers said that wouldn't happen."
Exactly, just shout us out. So,
shout us out.
Yeah, I mean, in like realistic terms, very like, you to do all of them. Because at the end of the day, even Mitchell Hooper himself, the fucking world's strongest man, will constantly talk about strides and just genetic potential. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, and I mean, look at guys like Jay Cutler, Phil Heath, Ronnie Coleman. Like, all they did was what the fuck they wanted, and that was bodybuilding.
That was it. They had no lives. They all like went through, like, well, Ronnie Coleman didn't really even have marriages, and then Jay Cutler went through a divorce. Like, it was a good one from everything he ever said, but still, at the end of the day, he's now fucking, divorced. Like, it's like because you become so obsessive and like that. It's the only way you can do it. And at the end of the day, do you want to be looked at as just this person as the great athlete who has all these titles, or just like an individual that like is a great person and like, oh, that's sick as fuck. And on top of that, he turned around and did this.
And one thing or the other is not a better thing, right? Like, are you the father on, like, I'm going to fucking float my shit. Are you the father that was on the board for the town that your family lived in while having 2 kids, while being an entrepreneur, while being a fucking, a dad or a good husband, right? Yeah. Or are you going to be the world's strongest man with being a father, all of that kind of stuff? Yeah. Like, Brian Shaw is, even though I don't respect the way that he does his business, he does business really well. Mm-hmm. And the only reason why he is so good at business is because he started out with MHP and then he grew into his own brand.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, if he wasn't 4 times world's strongest man, he would not have the brands that he does.
Had to put the work. Yeah.
So it does come down the line of, like, you kind of have to find one that you excel in.
For sure. And you do. Like, you do. And I agree.
And me personally, like, I want to be one of the best contractors in the fucking United States. And I know that that's going to come with my family never having to worry about money. But at the same time, I'm like, that World's Strongest Man 105 is like, it'd be pretty cool to walk the OSG World Finals.
Yeah.
And that's also where it comes into, like, with me having kids, and I'm sure, like, you've had children underneath you as well. Like, you need to give them something to look up to.
You have to. Absolutely.
Because how many fucking dads out here are my height, but 300 pounds? fucking flabby,
like a lot of them,
disgusting. Like, their wives hate them because they come home and fucking dick off. Like, they're not present with their kids. Like, you have fucking so many options in this life, and for you to choose to be a father over everything else is wrong.
I agree. Like, you got to give them something to look up to. Like, it's great to be there. I'm not saying that. Like, don't.
You need to be a perfect father, no matter what.
Absolutely.
Like, you
be there.
That's in the fucking.
Then be there and be like, instead of just sitting on the couch, fucking drinking beers and playing video games and just goofing with them, show them something to look up to. Like, take them out in the garage, start working out with them, or take them on walks. Like, do these different things. Like, they need
whatever your parenthood is like.
Yeah,
you don't even have to be a strong man. You don't have to be physically like in the gym doing fucking CrossFit or strongman or bodybuilding. Like, you don't have to do that, but you do, and it's in the Bible. You do have to fucking be the absolute best that you can for your children.
Absolutely.
Period.
Yeah, and you've got to.
And that's just my religion coming out. And I also don't care if you say otherwise, but like, you have to be the best that you can, because if you're not, then your children are going to grow up to be exactly like you, and whether you think it's right, we all know it's wrong.
Exactly.
Like, you even know it's wrong. When you wake up and you look in the mirror and you find yourself disgusted at what you see, but you're like, it's all right, my family's fed.
My family's fed. My bills are paid.
Those are the bare fucking minimums.
It's bullshit.
It's genuinely like somebody who, like, I saw this all the time when I posted my job listing on Indeed. I found so many people that said, I'm hardworking and I show up to work on time.
Yeah.
Okay, what else do you do?
Yeah.
Like, genuinely, what else do you do? Because if you are only hardworking and show up to work on time, well, that's a bare fucking minimum. Right. Like, you have to do that as an employee.
Yeah, right. That's your cool. You hit your job requirements.
What? Okay, tell me what else you can do. Like,
absolutely, yeah.
I feel like
I'm
that's
a specialist in this. I really like to do this. I do this as whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I feel like there's so many men that are like that in this world that are like, my kids they've got a shelter, they've got food,
bare minimum,
and they've got a good mom.
Yeah, they go to the bare minimum as long as they're checking those off. That's it.
They're living their best life.
Yeah, it's like, get fucked. That's a lie, dude. You live in a country that you're able to do whatever the fuck you please.
Period.
Other countries, like, that's all you're allowed to do, motherfucker. If you're doing that, you're doing good.
Go to India and go work in a fucking iron mine.
Dude, literally, if you're a fucking family, if you're allowed to hang out and lounge with your family every evening,
you shouldn't be doing it.
You should, like, you're doing great. Like, that's fucking kings. Here, we're allowed to, so it's like your opportunity alone is that, like, you can do so much more. So we're just saying, like, no, we're not saying you have to.
It's definitely a fucking long rant that I went on.
But
that's my problem.
True.
It's just.
But, like, we just want, like, when people want to see, right? Kids see what they see. And, like, you can either play house where it's like, oh, mommy and daddy went to work, and then they come home and they watch TV until we go to bed. Or it could be like, mommy and daddy go to work, and then they come home, and then dad goes in the garage and he does this, or he does this, or he does this. And
or he takes me this place, and we'd like, go do this thing.
Yeah,
and
like, it teaches them, like, there's more to life than just fucking work and then sitting around and bitching about way the life is and how hard you have to work to survive. We all do. We all fucking do. So that's all we're getting on. So, we'll lose some followers. It's okay.
Just be the fucking best that you can be. That's really all.
That's
that
all
we
we're saying,
care about.
Dude.
Like,
that's all we're saying. And if it's okay, if you
don't half dick shit, whole dick that motherfucker. Period.
Hardcore.
Like, that's truly what it comes down to. Is just everything that you do, be 100% in it, because even when it comes to partying and having fun, dude, I 100% that hard. Motherfucker too.
Go hard as fuck.
I'm not saying that I'm a fucking dude that is so straight laced that I don't fucking do crazy shit. Like, I'm not Andy Frisella. Yeah. I'm not fucking David Goggins. But you know what I am? I'm the guy that's gonna just fucking build absolute genuine motherfuckers. Period.
That's right.
Both of my kids are going to be savages in the world, and they're going to run over all of your fucking children.
Ooh.
Period. That's rough, but at the same time, like, with their mom and me, it's going to be hard for them to have to defend themselves because they are going to fucking murder.
They will. They'll fuck shit up.
And I know that because I love my life and I love my kids and I love my wife and I love my job and I love my fucking crew and we just fucking kill it. And if you don't feel that way, you should definitely find yourself in a different position maybe in the next couple of months because life is too fucking short.
It is, dude. It's just too short and you just have all the possibilities. You really do.
Like we had somebody really close to us who has supported this channel and has supported us for so long that has just lost one of their kids, and it's fucking absolutely disgusting that happened. It's not disgusting how it happened. It's not disgusting that it happened. It's disgusting that it happened, and it's super unfortunate. And I honestly could never imagine having to go through what she went through. It's just like you just don't fucking know when you're gonna lose it. Or when you're going to get lost, or when something's going to happen. So what do you want to be known as? The guy that sat on the couch and ate the Doritos and fucking drank the soda and fucking collected welfare? Like, do you want to be known as the guy that was a nice guy when he came to parties? Or do you want to be known as the guy that fucking just came in there and absolutely destroyed fucking everything? What do you want to be known as? And I'm going to leave it at that. I'm sorry.
Mic drop.
I'm not sorry. Fuck it. I'm fucking on one.
Yes.
Today fucking got me fucking lit up, dude. So
I love it.
Do you remember what we were talking about before we got on the podcast?
I honestly, the whole time you were ranting, I was listening to your rant, but I was also trying to think of what we were talking about. I couldn't remember.
God damn it. Dude, I just remember being
we were just talking about venues.
This is such a good... No, before the podcast. I just remember we were talking about it and we're like, fuck, actually, we should just... Oh, I do remember. My fucking head's working tonight. Nice. Okay, so the time that we met.
Oh, that's right. We were talking about that. Yeah.
So I'm not going to fucking try and say that... He was puppy dogging because he wasn't.
Such a lying motherfucker.
I know. I said I'm not going to say that. I always say that because I always joke around. Describe the first time that we met. No. Like you, because legit. Like I haven't said my view, like my true view.
True
from
view.
The first time.
True view.
So like,
if you guys are part of the Patreon, you'll know where the beginning of the story starts. But where we are right now is like, we were talking about just like as we started this podcast, putting on venues and putting on Strongman and just where it started from and where it is now. Just in the like 6 years we've been in the sport. And I remember I was talking to him and I was like, man, I'll never forget the first day I ever joined my first Strongman gym, which was Team Tom. Yeah, which is in Greeley, Colorado. It was a big time, like I said, it was before my time, so I wasn't there, but they were a pretty big gym, and I caught it on back in the day when I did have kids and stuff and stepkids and on a Halloween.
Yeah, let's put this on the record. Mike does not have any children.
No, I have no children
with his blood in it.
No, I know. No judge. I did. I raised kids for 10 years, but they were stepkids, and then.
So Mike is not a piece of shit dad that abandoned his children.
I just abandoned these kids, and no. I was a stepdad for 10 years, and then that broke out, and then like they're not my blood, they're not my responsibility, and not my choice. But not that I don't still talk to them. I still do. But anyway. So we were doing fucking Halloween and it was all shitty, and then we were going through the mall and boom, there's a Strongman fucking place, and I'd only seen it on TV. I was a bodybuilder at that time, and the shit, they had log, the stones, all the shit. So I signed up for it. It was like a Wednesday or something, so I came that first Saturday. Parked out in the garage, and I'm walking up into the thing, and I'm used to just bodybuilding routine and bodybuilders, Anytime Fitnesses, like really that's all I ever went to. And I was walking through it, and that was actually the first time I saw Austin. I didn't know it was Austin, obviously, and we were coming through the double doors, and I remember seeing him with his big beard and everything, and it was super intimidating. I remember I was like, fuck, this is a big dude. I was like, this is like, okay, I'm going to put this fucking game on right now. Like, we're fucking shit up. This ain't no Anytime Fitness. And then, I went in there, and the place is, the vibe is totally different than, an Anytime or Gold's or something like that.
It used to be dirty and grungy.
Yeah, and it'd be huge. I mean, the fucking...
There was missing pads on the benches. Yeah, it was,
huge, hardcore.
And it was exactly what we needed.
Loved
and
it.
what we still
Loved
want.
it. Absolutely. God, I love that gym. Anybody that knows Team Tom knows. And anyway, so I went and did my bodybuilding thing because they had this pit like we've talked about in previous podcasts, and this little area was all Strongman. But outside of that, it was all regular fitness gym, like huge though. And so I went and I did my 45, like superset and everything, fucking light weights, just a lot of reps. And then I went into the strongman area. And I remember I was trying to like fuck with the Atlas stones because it's the only thing like anybody else. Like, oh, you do that sport where they lift the
big round balls?
So I did this exact thing, right? I knew what a log was only because I'd seen one. I was like, holy shit, that's a real log. And I was like,
real quick to interrupt you, one of the guys that works with me, he was like, yeah, those big world stones. And I was like, actually, they're called Atlas, but it's the same definition.
Yeah.
He was like, oh. He's like, well, what can you do with that? And I said, well, I haven't tested it, but I'm pretty sure I can get a 400.
I believe it.
A 370 for a rep and a half. And he was like, you can do that much? I was like, yeah. He goes, oh, you're fucking strong. He always knew that I did strongman, but when I told him how much weight I can pick up with a stone, like, for sure, I have it on video.
If you actually saw one in real life, if you saw a stone in real life, like, they're big.
But it was just funny because he was like, the world stones? I was like, yes, actually. That's the English definition of world stones because Atlas is Greek for world. But sorry, I had to.
Pretty good. No, that's
it
good.
Was funny.
Yeah, so like I went straight into those and like I was flomping around with those and I think I did like a 150 or a 165, whatever their jumps was. And I remember I went up to the next one and then I was like sitting there fumbling and there was nobody in there. Like I was like sitting there for like maybe 25, 30 minutes, like dinking around, like just looking at shit, like, oh my God, like seeing it in real life. And just like how raw it was. And
and I think at this time when you were dicking around with those stones, I think we were doing like bench or something like that.
Because I just remember,
I don't think we were doing anything strongman related.
I don't think because I was in there. No, I was all by myself for like 25, 30 minutes. And then all of a sudden, and then the whole time I was bodybuilding, I kept an eye over there. You know what I mean? Like keeping an eye on it.
Yeah.
And like nobody was over there. And I was like, oh, so maybe like, I don't know. And I was like, I don't care. I just want to try something, even if I don't know what I'm doing. And so I went over there and like, and I was doing that. And then like, about 20, 30 minutes later, then all of a sudden 3 guys come walking up and they walked in the area.
Yeah, because it was
you, Zach, and Josh.
Yeah. It was right after we had gotten finished up with the Bennett's Strongest Man.
Yep.
I remember that was the time where we were like, all right, we're a fucking team now. Let's go train together. And then... yeah, I'm pretty sure we were on like bench or something like that. Okay. Like it was not a strongman lift base.
Yeah, it's just warming up.
Like it was literally just, it wasn't even warming up. I think as we were walking out, we were done.
Oh, were you guys
I think we were just completely leaving.
Because we did yoke right after. So I thought you guys just got there. Because remember we did yoke right
Maybe
after?
we did. Maybe.
You did do something bench and like, you did like the 3 workout.
We definitely, if we post up, which I need to post some of the OG.
Dude, I got that shit on my phone. I will post
I need to post some of that stuff.
We're gonna
up
post
there
some OG shit.
Actually, I'm going to. We've got to do some more shorts.
Yeah, we need to do some more shorts. So we're gonna we could do like where it started, where we are.
Yeah,
like just a real quick start.
Yep.
Like, and we'll just slowly keep adding them
just
in.
the little ones in there.
Just like a couple minutes. Like a couple seconds of us before, and then where we are now. There.
The last 5 years has changed so significantly. It's crazy,
wild.
But I just remember all of us 3, we were over there either like deadlifting on the platform or we were benching or we were doing something that was not in the strongman pit because the pit had all of the strongman implements.
Yep. It was just a little like, I don't know, maybe like 15 by 30 little area.
Yeah. And it wasn't like anything super crazy.
Just so much shit in one little area. Atlas stones, logs, fucking Viking or Viking press.
Viking press.
Yeah, Viking press.
The yoke was there.
The yoke. Like, I mean, just so much shit.
One of the yokes, yeah.
So much shit shoved in a little area.
Yeah.
And and then I was in there and then he came over and then like I was sitting there doing my thing and then he actually came over and helped me and like showed me a couple quick tips and like sure shit it helped me. And like I said, like coming from a bodybuilding thing, I worked out for almost 4 years, almost 5 years in a gym, hoodie up, headphones on, didn't talk to anybody. Never I never had gym bros. I never had friends. Like, not that I was against it. It's just like I went in and did my shit. And like,
it's just how it was for you.
It's just how it was. And so like to actually like have somebody like talk to me and like help me and stuff. And then so like, and I was super new to it and I wanted to learn about it. And like literally the couple things he had fucking showed me worked. And I was like, wow. So I figured, I just figured. And then by their appearances, I was like, these guys know what they're doing. So I was like, fuck it. And I remember they were walking off. They literally came in. you help me with the stone, and they're like, oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure the way that it worked out, if I remember correctly, you can tell me if I'm wrong. They were walking in front and they were already basically out the door, or they were off going to go do something else. And I literally was just like, hey, you mind if I give you a few tips on this?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't anything crazy.
No, it wasn't. No. That's all correct except for, so you guys came, because I'll never forget it. Like, yeah, we were on that front place. You walk in the door as a Team Tom and come on the front side of the pit. I was right there where the stones were. You guys came around that outside where the deadlifting platform was. You set your bags right where the logs were. Josh and them and Zach were grabbing the yoke. And you walked over and you were helping me out. And they were over there, and you're like, all right, man, cool. And I was like, hell yeah. And I gave you a pound. I was like, I appreciate that, man. And then he's like, I was like, what are you guys up to? And then he's like, oh, we're going to go work on this yoke. And I had seen that like before. And I was like, and I remember I was just going to be like, oh, okay, cool. Like, appreciate you. And then like, just keep doing my thing. And then I just remember like at last second, it was like, I turned around and I was like, wait, do you mind if I fucking try this shit with you? I'm kind of trying to learn how to do this stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, man, come on over.
Yeah.
And then we did a yoke session. And then right after that, he's like, well, we train every Wednesday, Thursdays, or whatever the fuck we were doing.
Yeah.
And we have a team and all this stuff. He's like, so if you're dedicated and you want to show up. And I was like, okay. And then like, yeah, so I started coming, and then fucking like 2 sessions later, there's a comp like in 2 months and we're fucking doing it. You're getting signed up.
I'll never forget that fucking
God.
Team Tom comp, just because I was just like, Mike, you're doing it. Yeah, if you're going to be a part of this group, you need to compete in strongman. This is the next one.
Oh, okay. Like,
it's a fucking novice. It's nothing crazy for you. Like, you need to fucking do it.
Yeah, it was. Oh my God.
I don't know. When was your addiction hit? Was it
the second I walked on I'll never forget. I can answer that question before you even finish your question.
Okay.
I'll never forget. Yeah, you signed me up, and I was like, "Fuck," because
I did sign him up.
So yeah, he like signed me up like so quick. I didn't even know what the fuck was going on. But like, I came from like, I know competing, like coming from motocross and stuff like that. But like
motocross and bodybuilding.
Yeah, and bodybuilding, and I never competed in bodybuilding, so it was off to me because I worked out for almost 5 years. My plan of attack was something that I did use back in the day in racing early on because it's expensive. I raced all the time thinking that was going to like get me better. And then I pulled back, and I'll never forget, but that was back in the day when my dad did it. He made me, he's like, fuck you. He's like, this shit's too expensive. He's like,
yeah,
you were going to practice and practice. And if you can really show me that you're really willing to do this and blah, blah, blah. And then like, so I waited. And then when I went in, I just fucking crushed everything and just ran up the ranks really fast. So that was my plan in bodybuilding. I was like, I want to just like do a fucking amateur show and just fuck everything up and then just go straight into another show and then like run the ranks. So I did that for like, almost 5 years. And then the second I found strongman, I literally left a 5-year addiction gone and just completely changed my life into a whole different training method of strength training toward hypertrophy.
Whole different addiction.
I mean, wholly different.
But when exactly?
But the addiction started. So like I only trained for like, not even 3 months. And then and then we did the competition. I'll never forget the day we went and we did weigh-ins, which is the night before the comp. Mm-hmm. I walked in there, I signed up, and I saw they had it all set up, and they actually had a stone platform, like the whole like thing, and I was like, oh my God, this is like on TV. And all this stuff, and I'll never forget. And then the next day, I was so pumped. And then the next day when we competed, had nothing to do with how I placed. I'll never forget competing and like that vibe. And like ever since then, I'll never forget. Like when I think of addiction to strongman, is standing on the turf in Team Tom at that competition at the stone platform. I was like this is my life.
This is it.
This is my life. This is my life.
It's so funny because I was basically the same way, and I'll get back into my story of how I remember meeting Mike and going through all of that situation. It was just the very first time I competed, which was a Team Tom competition in the February beforehand. I just remember going in there, and I was looking for a powerlifting competition. I was like, I want to get into powerlifting.
Right.
Because my deadlift had increased by 100 pounds in a year, and I was just like, oh, I can deadlift 405 pounds at 85 pounds or 185. I was like, I've got a good chance at this. And I was like, fuck, I need a competition. I need something to work for. Because I'd already fucking trimmed myself down from being a fat fuck at 265 down to 185 or 187. And I was like, man, I gotta have something to work for.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they were like, well, we don't have any powerlifting competitions coming up, but we do have a strongman competition coming up. And I was like, all right. Yeah, I guess let's do it. Like, I don't know any of these fucking events. I don't know anything of anything.
Yeah.
So I went into their novice, which was a 231 and under, because I'm pretty sure they did a double class on my first one. And it was SC too.
Yep.
So I did the SC and I took second. I remember it was started out with a front hold.
Nice.
Front hold, I think it was like 30 pounds. Hold it as long as you can.
Yeah.
I fucking won that event somehow. Like, I'm never good with holds, but that one I fucking won.
Sick.
And then there was
There's a frame deadlift. I remember that.
There was a frame deadlift because I was lurking for a 500-pound deadlift overall.
Anyway,
and I picked it up and I didn't get the lockout or the drop command. So I fucking barely put it down. And he was like, nope, not going to work. So I deadlifted it again.
Sick.
And he was like, all right, good. And I remember the crowd went fucking nuts because I thought I got the lockout and put it down. Yeah. So I did it again.
Basically a double.
We also did a 2 sandbag to a sled, and then you drug it backwards.
Yeah.
And then we did some type of tire flip. And it was just like, at that moment, I was like, this is exactly how I'm going to dedicate my life. In fitness, like this is it. So because as soon as I went up there, I remember I was still like trying to warm up my legs. So on the first event, I kept my sweatpants on and everything.
Yeah.
And all I had on was the comp shirt. So I was sitting there with this weight and I was just holding it. And I remember my wife was taking the picture. She was my girlfriend at the time. She took the picture. And I was like, man, that's kind of fucking cool. Like, you just put your fucking back up to something and just hold something. Like, how many fucking people do that?
Super basic, yeah.
And then we got into the deadlift, and then we got into all the other events. I remember the deadlift was at the very end of the day. That's actually where I met Jason Keith and like all of the guys that don't compete in strongman anymore. That's where I met him at.
Crowds,
Dude, that at that point, when you feel that anxiety of the first event, and I still get it to this day, of like, man, this is fucking kind of sketchy. I don't know if I want to do it. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm trying to kill myself.
I love it.
But the first time I remember meeting Mike was that day where he was in the pit fucking with the stones. I remember walking by. And I remember watching him kind of like, he wasn't struggling with a stone. He wasn't fucking with a stone. I always play it off as in like, he's a little puppy dog. But he wasn't. He was just like over there doing his own thing. And I was like, I know that I'm really good at this. This is the one thing that I just picked up naturally. And I walked over there. I was like, hey, man, can I give you a few tips? And he goes, yeah, dude, absolutely. I'd love it. I showed him a few tips, and instantly from that point on, I was like, this dude is literally, and we'd never talked backgrounds. We had never talked life experiences. I was like, this dude just fucking knows. Somehow he fucking knows. And I was like,
did we just become best friends?
That's literally how it felt. It was
like literally we just become best friends.
It was like stepbrothers. Do you want to go do karate in the garage?
Literally immediately.
And after he was just like, yep.
That quick too.
I just remember talking to him and being like, I was like, well, fuck, like we do this. I do remember the conversation. I was like, we just do this, once a week. It's nothing crazy, but we train the implements. And you were like, oh, I can make it. I was like, well, do you want to be a part of the team? And at that point, we had only had me, Mike, me, Zach, and Josh.
Yeah, and then sometimes Sean showed up. Because it took
Sean hadn't showed up at that point.
He did because it took me a couple sessions, and then I finally met Sean.
No. I was saying Sean was not there at that point because I hadn't met Sean.
Oh, you hadn't even met him yet.
I met Josh and Zach at the competition in Bennett.
Of him.
Okay, and then Sean.
Because I remember it was a few sessions later, and then Sean showed up. Yeah.
Yeah. We started doing that, and I was just like,
Yeah, I remember.
I just remember meeting you, and I was like, this is a little stoner bro.
Yep.
He rides dirt bikes.
Yep. Literally
This is literally me, but in a smaller frame.
Yep. And just a few years older. Like half a decade, almost a decade older. Yep. It was, I
just remember that because as soon as I saw you, I was like, me and this guy are going to.
Yeah.
It's funny how God works because I was like, this is the guy that I'm going to fucking be friends with and we're going to have such a good time. And here we are fucking.
This many years later, bro.
90 years later, you're the godfather of my kids.
So wild. So wild.
It's just funny how life really works with that crazy. Because it genuinely, this is also why like I preach gym etiquette so much is like you got to be friends to everybody in the gym because you don't know who you're going to meet and they could one day be your best friend.
Literally.
You guys, the gym just I think just physical fitness in general.
Oh, absolutely.
Whenever you go out and about, how many times does somebody eyeball you out of a crowd, right? Because you're kind of a bigger, jack, juicier guy, and they're just like...
I actually got the nicest compliment, and it was on my birthday. Actually, it was after you came to dinner.
Fuck!
Well, yeah, I know. And then he had dad things to do. We went bowling. And we went after bowling, we went like bar hopping, and I went into a bar. We went to Night Riders up in Greeley, and that was our last spot. We went to a couple other Paisa bars and shit, and then we ended up at Night Riders, and we were playing pool. And a kid, he's like 20-something years old, like college kids in there. I was like, what the fuck? And we actually, the bar before that was a lot of college kids. So I was like trying to get away from the college kids. But anyway, we showed up and there's all these college kids. And this kid bumped into me. I was like getting ready to shoot. And he like bumped into me and stuff. And he's like, oh shit. I was like, no, dude. I was like, my apologies. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, my brother. And he walks up and he's like, hey, man. And then he like, he's drunk and stuff. And like, people are honest as fuck when they're drunk. But I love that. Like, it's like, you wouldn't normally say that, but like, you're saying it because you are drunk, like intoxicated. So that means that's really how you feel. So I appreciate that. Anyway, and he goes, and he's like, oh no, he's like, all right. And he kind of got shocked. And then he comes in and he goes, can I say something? And I was like, yeah. I was like, what's up, dude? And he walks in and he pulls me in close. And he's like, bro, you could fuck up every person in this bar, but yet you are the nicest person I've ever met. And I was like, dude, I appreciate that.
The amount of times that I've also got that of just being like, do you know that you could fucking kill everybody? All of us?
Yeah. But yet you are just so like, it's like,
and it's just like, I truly appreciate that.
Yeah. But
at the same time, it's kind of like, yeah, but I'm nothing special.
And that's exactly how I feel when they say that. It's like, of course I feel like I appreciate that, but it's like, I'm no different than you. Sure, I can like lift a lot and everything else, but but at the end of the day, like just because your capabilities are of something doesn't mean like, I don't know. It was
another fucking life lesson rant that I'm going to go on right now because I'm fucking on one.
Yeah.
You can't be humble by being fucking nothing.
It's true. It takes. That's funny. That's like any like real motherfucker, like war savage people that literally could kill you with their bare hands in 2 seconds. Like a whole room of people. They're like the nicest people. It's the whole like I would rather be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
Period.
And people that have really been through some shit or put themselves through shit understand how nice it is to be peaceful. It's like there's no reason to have a war. There's like because you know what you're capable
of. The last thing that I ever want to do whenever I'm in any kind of situation or setting is get into a fight. Or
Me
an
too.
Argument.
I'm saying I don't want to.
I am so internally peaceful that I have no will, want, or desire to try to put myself ahead of anybody else. Absolutely. And I listened to Real AF today, and I think he said it best. Which was kind of funny because like this whole thing came up because that was a very humble way of you being like, oh, thank you.
Yeah,
like,
it
what
was.
the
Yeah,
fuck?
yeah, it was weird, but I was like, I appreciate it, but like.
But he put it best when he was like, it's easy to be humble when you don't have anything to be arrogant or cocky about.
Yeah, it's true.
Like so, with the money, with the strength, with everything. Like there is a certain arrogance that needs to be put away. Like,
oh, absolutely.
I get arrogant as fuck whenever it comes to competition day because that's the setting for it.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I need to be the
That's
fucking
that setting.
world's strongest man.
Yeah, that's the setting. But walking around.
When you're walking around and people are like,
Yeah.
dude, you could fuck me up.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I couldn't, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
But what are you doing? Like, what can I help
right.
you? What are we?
Like,
What's up, dude? What are you
that.
doing?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, and that's the thing. It's like, sure, that like if something were to go down, like, or my capabilities,
I got the old Hellcat on the Switch.
Yeah, like
that's
I have that capability, but it doesn't mean anything. And that's usually how it is that like, yeah, usually the people that can really do some shit are the nicest people. And like, it's the ones that act tough because they want people. It's like, dude, fear is not really like people actually fearing you. Like, have you ever had that? Like, literally, people look you in the eyes and they're like, that dude is fucking crazy. And they're literally scared of you. It's not a good feeling. And like in my,
it's truly not.
It's true. Like, I get it. I do. Like back in my bro days, like it's cool to have like that intimidation factor and people are like, oh my God, because you don't get fucked with. It's a defense mechanism. I get that. And then when you actually are like, in a sense, like quote unquote, like are you able to control yourself and take care of yourself? For most part of anything that comes towards you, you're able to control yourself and take care of any problem. It becomes a very humbling, more like, no, dude.
Also, at the same time, I always remember the times that I used to get fucked up because I wasn't this.
Yeah.
You remember? Like, I remember all those times where I thought I was tough shit. And I got punched in the mouth. And I got knocked the fuck out. And then I'm just like, why was I doing that?
Exactly.
Why was I the way that I was? Yep. And I know that's not fucking correct grammar, but I remember too many fucking times of where I got my shit pushed in because I was that cocky, arrogant dude. And even though I'm that guy that is stronger than 1% of the United States of America, like I'm in the 1% club of strength. It's crazy that people of, like, I see this shit on Instagram all the time of people that will bully other people. Like, they'll stitch other people's reels of them, like, deadlifting 225 for the first time as a girl, and they're like, I'm 14 years old, and they deadlift 225 for 4. And it's like, I can curl that way. You're not like tough.
Just being bullies.
What the fuck are you, like, what world are you in?
I know.
There's always a bigger fish. Always.
And that's exactly. And until you're really fucking around in a main pond with monsters, like, little fish don't bother you.
And also, if you're at like the McGregor stage at his prime, where he was the cocky fucking spit fuck, where he was like, nobody in the world can fuck with me. It's like, yeah, dude, nobody in the world can fuck with you. Like, I'm for it. I love the shit talking, but you have to be at such the top elite,
such a top elite,
fucking 0.0001%. And you have to be able to dominate whatever fucking field you're in. Like, I don't know. I don't understand that because I also, in my entrepreneurship journey, I've realized that other people winning means that you're winning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, if you're hanging out with losers, you're watching losers, you're losing.
You're losing. Absolutely.
But if you're hanging out with people, like, dude, you going to Worlds last year, like in 2023, in December, like, that was literally like, you're fucking doing it. We're fucking doing it.
We're doing this, exactly.
Like, when I went out there and watched you compete on the world's strongest man 90 kg stage, I was like,
we're doing
this. Is like, unlike anything else.
Yeah, we're doing this. Yeah.
Who the fuck else is doing
this? Exactly. Show me your closest 5 friends. I'll show you your future.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, that's why I like going from the start to where we just talked about to now. It was very impressive of your time because you did dedicate so much after your situationship. Yeah. After your situationship, I watched you flourish into an athlete that even me being fucking 20 pounds heavier, like, you and I are going to compete against each other here in a month.
And
I'm going to fucking decimate you.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
But I just know that, like, from what you and I have done in the last 5 years,
last few years, like,
is fucking untouchable to what the average person does.
For sure. So it just gives you a piece of humbleness of like, like we ain't shit, but we're working.
We're doing our best.
Yeah, and like, So, but all we're saying is be humble, ho. Be humble, ho. That's all.
Be humble, ho.
As much as you progress, don't ever bully. If you're stronger, pick somebody up. Don't be a fucking bully.
Now, since we're done with the rants and we're done with the bullshit, we're on to the segment.
What's the segment?
Do you remember the segment?
Nope.
We skipped it last time.
What was this? Oh, a strongman fact.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
So, the strongman fact of the day is the multi-time champions of strongman.
Multi-time. Oh, how many times they've won?
Yep, the world's strongest mans.
World's strongest mans. Okay, I'm not even gonna look
so, number one. Don't look at it.
Yeah,
who is number one?
Number one is Mariusz Pudzianowski.
Period. Fucking baddest dude to ever walk the fucking planet.
Seriously.
As a strongman, period.
I agree.
I don't fucking care.
I don't care. A lot of you people will disclaimer that. Fuck that, dude. Mariusz is a fucking savage.
Because not only after this did he go into like MMA and boxing, like he is a bad dude.
So if it's supposed to happen, it's supposed to be Eddie and Mariusz going to get in the cage.
Eddie will get fucked up.
I agree.
Dude, Eddie will get fucked up.
I agree. I will put my money on Mariusz on that one. I mean, Mariusz is fucking like 50. I mean, Eddie has like 20-something years on the motherfucker. I mean, that like just because of the age of Mariusz is. Like if this would have happened like even 7 years ago, no doubt. If you watch anything with Mariusz now, like he's still amazing, right? But dude. At the end of the day, it's like you're almost 60, dog. Like, you know, Eddie's my age.
I'll pull him up though.
I know he is. I follow him. Like that's what I mean. It's like, but at the end of the day, it's like Mark Felix is a savage. But if you were gonna put Nick Best against him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but okay. So my way to counteract what you're thinking is, as soon as he got done with World's Strongest Man, he went into fighting.
Yeah,
MMA.
I agree. So he might be like I want to see this.
Time and experience does outweigh genetics.
And I agree.
Size.
And it is. He's just calm. He's been in that cage a million times. And you saw what happened with Thor. He got his ass kicked because he was so emotional the entire time. He just wanted to kill Thor, and Thor just chilled
Eddie
back.
Hall, yeah,
and Thor just chilled back and like.
Pop, pop,
fuck. Yeah.
So he is still leading with the 5.
Okay. So World Champion. Okay. And then number 4 is Brian Shaw, Zydrunas Savickas.
You got 2. You've got
how
2
many
more.
2 more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, Bill Kazmaier?
Nope.
No, he has 3. Bill Kazmaier 3. Mm-hmm. Jeff Capes did not get fucking that many. Magnus for Magnuson.
Yep, there's the third.
Magnus for Magnuson.
There's one more.
So let's see, we got Brian Shaw.
This is old school. Think very beginning.
God damn, I know his name. The Icelandic?
Yeah, he's Icelandic.
Okay, fuck, I know his name. I am the Viking. I am the Viking. Fucking, what is his name? God damn it.
Do you want me to say the first?
Please just say, start his name. I know it starts with a G. They all start with a J.
John.
Oh, John Paul Sigmason. Thank you, God. Yes.
Okay. So John Paul Sigmason.
Magnus for Magnuson.
Yep. Did it 84, 86, 88, and 90. Yep. Magnus for Magnuson.
Yep.
They kind of swapped a little bit.
Yep.
Or no, sorry. Magnus for Magnuson did it 91, 94.
Right after him,
the elite year, 94. Which is my birthday, 95 and 96. So he had 3 years running.
Yep.
Zydrunas Savickas, 9, 10, 12, and 14.
Yep.
And then Brian Shaw, 11, 13, 15, and 16.
Yep.
So then you said the one that did the 3, Bill Kazmaier.
How many are there?
There's only 2.
Okay, is it him and Jeff Capes?
Nope. This is your boy.
Really?
This is your boy.
3 of them.
Yep. No. Only 3 wins.
Yeah.
There's only 2 to get 3 wins.
Yeah. Bill Kazmaier.
Bill Kazmaier has 3.
Yeah, and
he's your boy. He still competes to this day.
Mark Felix? No, not Mark Felix. No, Mark. These are World's Strongest Man.
Yeah.
Nick Best? No, Nick Best never won no World's Strongest Man.
Keep going.
3.
I can't really give you a hint without you knowing.
Hold on, I know. Hold on, I'll get it. Let me just go down the tiers. Okay, so you had Marius fucking everything up. And then,
Remember, he's got 3 of these.
Yeah.
And he still competes.
And he still competes to this day?
To this day. Brother. He has won within the last 10 years. That's as best as I'm going to get you. And he still competes.
I'm good at this game, and I still can't remember this whole...
You're going to fucking
I'm gonna lose
punch
this.
me in my dick as soon as I tell you.
Oh, my God. Okay.
That's the only thing I can give you, because everything else you're gonna know.
Because Thor doesn't own it.
Nope.
No, Thor doesn't own it.
Mm-mm.
And then,
Thor's only got 1.
3. Oh, I'm sorry. Tom Stoltman has 3.
There it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking so old school, but yeah, I guess I'm thinking New Day. I'm sorry. I was going so far back in the books. Yeah, to New Days. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tom
3 times Tom
Stoltman
Stoltman.
won 21 and 22 and 24.
Yep. Sorry. Yeah. 3.
He won the last one.
Yep.
So.
He is World's Strongest Man right now. Yep. That's right. And then we go into 2-time.
The 2 times. There's 3 and 2 times.
I was going to say there's a couple of them on 2.
So there's quite a few in 2.
Okay, go ahead and just name those, because I know there's a lot different. Because there's some fucking...
Name your top 2.
Well, okay, so 2. No, because Mitchell's only 1, and then...
Are you sure?
Yeah, Mitchell's only won 1. What?
No, he's got 2.
Is he double?
He's double.
What did he win? 22? Or is it 21 and 22? No, 22 and 23?
Hold on.
Oh, it was 22 and 23, right? No.
It's saying that he's got 2.
He's only 1-time World's Strongest Man.
It is saying that he's got 2.
Because he won the first one, and then he lost the second year. And then Tom took back his title.
Okay, so this is saying...
Yeah.
Hold on. Multi-top 3 finishes. Top 3.
Okay.
No,
I was going to say...
Okay, so there is only 3 that have placed in the top, that have won
twice.
Okay. And give me one that has won twice. They're old school.
Yeah, I know.
1977 to 1999.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to think of his fucking name. He's the tall ass weird.
United States, United Kingdom, and Finland.
Yeah, the Finland dude is the one I was trying to think of his fucking name. I know him. I know exactly what he looks like too. Fuck.
Starts with a J.
Yeah. Fuck. Let's see. You said there's an American?
There is an American. And I was actually surprised. Well, no. Yes, there is an American. And I was surprised when I saw the name.
Fuck, I don't even know, bro.
Bruce Wilhelm.
Bruce Wilhelm, okay.
Geoff Capes.
Yep, Jeff. I said Jeff like 5 times.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, Jeff is 2. That's
and Juoko.
Yes.
Eola.
Yeah, that motherfucker. I know exactly what he looks like. Too.
Yeah.
He's like 7 foot fucking tall weird.
Yeah, of course they don't have a thing for Bruce Wilhelm because I pulled him up, but yeah. So those are your top 5 times World's Strongest Man all the way down to 2-time World's Strongest Man. That's how many times. Okay. Get this. So another World's Strongest Man facts. The United States has taken 12 gold medals. And they are the leaders in World's Strongest Man.
Are we? Are we still the leader?
We are the leader.
Good.
12 to 9. Iceland is 2nd. United Kingdom or the UK is 8.
Okay. But okay, good. I'm glad that America's still holding up the top.
Yeah,
good.
Even with totals,
good,
32.
Good. Okay. We need some Americans to get their fucking asses up there though, because Mitchell and then Stoltman, that's UK, that's Canada, fucking we need Evan to get his ass up in there and fucking
I know. Now like in these competitions I thrive for Evan.
Of course.
Because I'm like you have the ability to do it. So that's our World's Strongest Man fact of the day, or strongman fact of the day is the top 5 finishers, not top 5, but the 5 times to the repetitive back-to-backs.
The back-to-back winners.
Or the overall winners, I guess.
Winners.
So
the most winningest.
The most winningest.
Yeah.
So if you guys haven't, please make sure that you do us a favor. Like, comment, subscribe.
Yes.
We
love comments. We love any of them.
Yeah.
If you want to hate and talk shit, I love that too.
We haven't had one of those.
We haven't. It's been a minute. We had one, and then because we showed him some love, like I think he stopped. No. Like we kind of like killed him with kindness, but it's okay.
So now we're killing you with guns. Mike, you got anything?
No, just what he said. Subscribe and comment, do all those things. Keep an eye on the YouTube because we are actually going to be a lot more YouTube shorts and shit. We're actually just going to start throwing our training videos because if you
the old school all the way to the new school, we're going to just put shit up there.
Yeah, we're just going to start. We're trying to get better with that, and I'm going to try jumping into that. So we just got like constant fucking content coming at. I know we talk about that all the time, but guess what? You guys know us, okay? We're hobbyists. This is a passion, but this will one day be our futures and our jobs.
Okay.
So, but in the meantime, we're doing our best. But anyway, keep an eye out for that podcast, of course. And then put your subscriptions on and keep an eye on YouTube because we are going to be throwing at least training fucking shorts and shit. I think a lot of it because we're posting a lot of stuff on our Instagram. So keep an eye on our Instagrams for the training for the Apex. Of course, we got McGeehee out there just fucking training. He just did world records. So keep an eye on him for all of his crazy training shit and the rest of us. And yeah, that's it. So love y'all.
Love you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.